Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. We will be beginning with the webinar shortly. Hello, everyone. Thank you, all the attendees, for joining us today. I hope all the attendees had a great time networking. I am Minakshi, welcoming you all on behalf of Solar Quarter and the First View Group to our webinar on launching Huawei's iSitePower-M growing need for energy storage solutions in the Middle East. I would like to take this moment to throw some light on what we aim to focus on today's webinar. The transition towards green energy solution is growing rapidly in the Middle East region. Energy storage is a critical hub for the energy grid, for the entire grid, augmenting resources from wind, solar, and hydro to nuclear and fossil fuels to demand side resources and system efficiency assets. It acts as a generation, transmission, or distribution assets, sometimes in a single asset. In this webinar, we learn about Huawei's intelligent power made solution, the iSitePower-M, which is the ideal solution for homes and residential users, delivering reliable power round the clock in a flexible and compact configuration unit of power and battery. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Krunal Patel Product Solutions Manager, Huawei, to give his presentation.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Minakshi. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. First of all, I would like to thank you, all of you, for joining this session, this webinar on especially our excellent and one of the most innovative product that is, we call it as a iSitePower-M, and specially designed for Middle East region and to understand the need of electricity and to cater how efficiently and more effectively the solar plus storage plus DG, by combining all these sources together, and how we can manage the overall system through this product, and to give you the 24/7 already some of the places there is a battery installation is done, and we have seen some of the various.
Uh, Krunel,
Yes.
can you go back to the first slide again? Yes, start over, please, because you had a network issue, I would say.
Nobody can hear you.
Dear attendees, we are facing a small issue with Mr. Kronal's network. We'll fix it and be right back in just a moment. Mr. Kronal, can we proceed?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, yes, we can, sir.
I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, sir, you can proceed with your presentation.
Okay, so let me start from the first slide. um, so iSitePower-M is one of the product which the most innovative, and the product which we have specially developed for the Middle East region to cater the growing need of electricity. Now, with respect to the iSitePower-M and the current situation in the Middle East region, there are many issues with respect to the availability of the electricity. There are issues related to safety and protections, and how we are catering all these issues with our iSitePower-M product by combining all the sources like DG, solar, battery, and together, and giving the and supplying the power 24/7 to the residential customers, consumers, then communities, then many places where the shopkeepers and all these other regions. So let us move further, and I will try to, in this webinar, I will try to cover the content in the current situation in the Middle East region, then the some of the battery basics which we need to understand how the battery behaves in various scenarios, then about iSitePower-M product introduction, the system configuration, when how we can utilize the best way for and how we can connect and the various numbers of iSitePower-M together to cater the need of the electricity. And the fifth, I will try to cover the various application case scenarios, how and where we can use the iSitePower-M in the best and most efficient way. Okay, so to start with, first the current situation in the Middle East region, there are some installations are going on in this region with respect to the to cater the need of electricity, and for that there are batteries are installed in residential zones, various offices, but there is no safety and protection we have observed. So if we talk about, first of all, in the case of Pakistan, where there are some news with respect to the battery explosions, and that triggers house fire, the 2% killed, 3% is hurt. There is it's just because of there is no safety in the battery charging procedure. The normally available chargers in the market is used which has a no any specification, and the batteries is used which is having limitations of the outdoor installation, so can't withstand the harsh environment. Also, there is an improper and uncontrolled battery cooling system. So now in case of this type of situation, the recent lithium ion batteries will not able to work, and which will explode, and this is very dangerous for any installation in this vicinity of the house or the people around it. In case of Iraq, if we talk about, there is abnormal use of batteries in communities. So based on availability of the normally available without any protection batteries, like a lead acid batteries, some of the lithium ion batteries, which is really very dangerous to install without knowing the specification, without doing the proper connection, making series and parallel. There are, again, here also there is a charges without any protection system. So in case of the battery is going to be overcharged, or that its battery is deep discharge, in such type of situation the battery is explode. The third case, if we talk about the Lebanon, where the overheated battery leads to fire at Lebanon, one of the home. So it has to be, the temperature of the battery should be maintained. The rechargeable lithium ion battery pack should not be overheated. Otherwise, there are some of the lithium ion batteries available in the market without any protections, and some of the chemistries are such a way that it becomes it acts as a explosion, and very huge explosion. So so there are three major points which is important with respect to the safety and protection. That is a DC arc firing hazard, battery overcharging fire hazards, and the DC electric shock hazard. So three hazards can be possible with respect to without any protections of the battery systems. The, and the same similar situation we have experienced in the Afghanistan and the Yemen. Now, second, the most important part is electricity supply sources and its difficulties. Now, as we all know, the electricity is a need for every house, every offices, every community. So people are trying to use the electricity from the various sources. Are these sources are reliable? Are these sources are giving proper quality power? If no, then they are damaging our internal houses all equipment. This creates a huge loss to that particular house. So the situation in the Pakistan is like unstable grid, frequent grid power cutoff, high electricity charges from the DG power, and unreliable batteries. So if the power is available from the grid, which is unstable, the frequent cutoff, and the if the residential users is required to use the DG power, it becomes too costly, and the batteries are unreliable. So there is no any reliable source of power supply which can give the consumer the 24 by 7 continuous power. Next, in case of the Iraq, the power outage is around 12 hours per day. The people are completely dependent on the DG power. Without DG power, they can't live. The frequent now, because of the overloading of the DGs with respect to supplying to the all multiple communities, there is a frequent failures in the DG. High electricity charges, and these DGs are maintained by the some third party which gives supply to the number of houses or communities. They are charges to that communities is a very high price. In case of Lebanon, requirement of effective usage of the solar power, because if the in case of the solar panels are also installed in the houses, but if it is not effectively used, because in the case of when there is a need of electricity, there is no solar availability, and when there is a full solar power is available, at that time there is no need of electricity. This is the real scenario of only solar installation in the market, and especially in case of the Lebanon, the same thing is happening. So solar power is wastage during the off-peak hours, and the frequent grid outages is observed. So in case with to cater this, there are three major point to with respect to all these three countries is the shortage of electricity, which is a basic need of every house, wastage of solar power generation, and dependency on the DG power. So these three are the major problem with respect to the electricity supply sources and difficulties. This is the same situation is in Afghanistan and the Yemen. Okay, so now we have seen all these type of issues with respect to the Middle East region, that there is a scarcity of electricity, and which is the basic need of every people, every home, every residence, and without that nobody can live. Now the solution is only the battery as of now, which can give the supply as a backup power to the house. Now we all understand the battery is the only solution, but whether the battery is a proper place, is a right product, or is the right chemistry, because battery is a one kind of a chemistry, and that chemistry, we need to understand its behavior, we need to understand its operation requirement, its environmental condition to be maintained. Without that, if we operate the battery as a backup power, it becomes very dangerous. So let me guide something about the battery basics, how the batteries behaves, and how we are taking care of the batteries. Okay, this screen is not visible. Okay, fine, no problem. Let's move on. Okay, so let me start with the battery basics. So in case of the lithium ion battery, the most important the two characteristics of the lithium ion batteries. The first one is the charging methodology. The both are related to the charging methodology. So if we are using the lithium ion battery, it should be the properly charged, and then only it is useful for as per the required discharge conditions. There is a charging methodology, or CCCV method generally is obtained in and adopted in the with respect to this chemistry of the LFP. In this CCCV mode of the battery charging, first battery is charged for the sum of the duration in the constant current mode, and after that it should be transferred to the constant voltage mode. So now every battery chemistry has a different type of the time duration with respect to the how much time it should charge battery for the constant current, and how much charge it will the constant voltage is to be supplied, and that has to be maintained properly, that has to be characterized properly, and to be tested number of times, then only these characteristics can be perfect and for the proper usage or the right applications. Second is the SOC operating window. Now SOC is a state of charge. Now how much charge is available inside the battery? Now this is a very important question to understand. Whenever there is battery is charged, we call it as a 20% battery charge. In case of our mobile also, we can see on the screen the battery is charged 20%, 30%, 40%. So and with respect to whether this number is correct, how this number is calibrated, whether my mobile phone battery charger is effectively charging, the same concept is open is in this type of the battery storage solution also. If in case you are charging the battery very overcharge, in case you are putting the batteries in very high charging stress, and which is reduce the battery life, and the and it is its overcharge makes the battery more heated, reduce the life of the battery. Now all these two characteristics which directly affected to the battery life and its battery failure. For example, in the battery life, if I would like to explain how the battery life is affected with respect to number of cycles utilization per day. So in my house, if I wanted to utilize the backup power from the lithium ion battery, if I am utilizing its the number of cycles 4 or 5 per day, or 3 2, these numbers is specified by the every lithium ion battery manufacturer, and that has to be followed. If you are utilizing the more number of cycles per day, that means you are reducing the battery overall battery life. Second point is on the operating environment. Now this chemistry of the battery is specially designed to operate in specified operating environment, which is to be dust free, which is required to be maintaining the temperature up to the 30-degree maximum, which is required to be they're impact free, because there are the three type of impact generally tested in this type of batteries, which is a mechanical abuse, then thermal abuse and electrical abuse. So any of that kind of abuse will create a huge issue with respect to the battery life, overall life. Then third is the depth of discharge. How much I have to discharge the battery? Shall I discharge the battery 100%? Shall I discharge the battery at 80% or 60%? That is also defined, and it is to be maintained to increase the life of the battery. Then C rate. In case of my battery is I'm connecting to a very high load, to which is not specified by the manufacturer, then also the overall battery life will reduce because battery is discharged very fast. And the cell balancing, the cell balancing battery module is consist of the many number of small cells. In case of this number of small cells are not balanced properly, there will be internal circulating current will flow, and this internal circulating current will internally discharge the battery without giving the proper output or required output from the battery. This is this all these parameter affect the battery life. If my product is not designed by considering all these functionalities or features or parameters, the definitely the battery life specified or battery life design it according to that value, the battery will not work. Next, very important point with respect to the battery is failure. And yes, last one is the SOC estimation. Okay, now with respect to the battery failure, mechanical impact. So the case, outer case of the your battery storage solution should be such a way that it should withstand the impact, because these batteries are installed at the indoor or somewhere outdoor, and there may be chances of any external impact, and during this type of situation it should not create a blast or it should not create a huge explosion. Second, extreme temperature. In case of the battery is put into the extreme temperature of 50 degree 60 degree, or in case of small fire inside the house, shops, villas, the battery should not be explode, or battery should not be completely furthermore elongate the fire. In case of the battery is overcharged, that is also which leads to the battery failure. Internal short circuit, because there are number of modules are connected internally, there are number of cells are connected internally. In case of any short circuit happen between positive negative, the protection should be system should be designed such a way that it should not lead to the failure of the battery completely. The improper installation. So in case of the installation is not as per the guideline of the designed guideline, that also leads to the battery failure. And the last point, water and dust increase, which is anyway in any electrical product, the water and dust increase is creating a huge problem, and the same is for the battery. So I'm trying to explain here the overall battery basics with respect to the lithium ion chemistry. So it is very important for us to understand the battery chemistry and behavior to get out the maximum output from it. In Huawei, we have a huge R&D team specially working for the lithium ion battery. How we can optimize the usage, how we can improve the performance of the lithium ion battery with respect to the various dangerous situations or various critical situations, how we can increase the life of the battery, reduce the battery failures, and provide the proper safety features. So I will, in my next couple of slides, I will try to explain you the these all this feature of the iSitePower-M, about its protection, about its life, and how we are improving that, and the product is delivering all these features and its various application scenarios in a very best way. So to start with product introduction, iSitePower-M. Now, everyone may have a question about what is iSitePower-M. So the name iSitePower-M is from I stands for intelligent, site power we call it as a power available at the site as and when is it's required at your place, and M is first stands for the mat. So it's supporter, it's your help. It's so the power whenever you need is the main motto behind this product. Okay, so to start with, first feature where we wanted to introduce the most important part of this product is we are we are giving a 24 hours of green power supply through this product. You can see in this picture there is a one community having a grid power available, having their own DG sets in this particular house, having the solar panel is installed on the rooftop, and the iSitePower-M is installed at the outdoor situation, or is in the compound area. So by considering all these the power supply sources, it by combination of all these power supply source, that is a solar generator and grid, the reliable 24 hours of power supply can be provided to this particular house with active safety and the smart operation and management system. And through this video, if you can see, in the morning time the power is available from the solar. Then in the case of night time, when there is a no solar available, at the time through the iSitePower-M, this house is supplying electricity supply to this house. There is a one DG is also available, but in case of non availability of a solar of the battery, in case this kind of situation only, the requirement of a DG to be supply the house supply electricity to the to this particular villa. Okay, now this is further one more case where you can see very nice villa where the iSitePower-M is installed at the outside of it. Why this is outdoor installation? Here I want to explain you that this product is designed with the IP65 protection level, so it's completely safe to install at the outdoor environment. It's a sleep class silence, so you can observe there is a one living room around it, but still there is a no much noise is there. Also there is the bedroom area where there is a the people is living, but without any noise, very less noise. It can be the ground mounted, and it's because of its smart and intelligent. There is no need to go and change over do the any changeover activity manually. So in case of a non ability of the solar, it will start automatically the battery power supply. When there is a battery fully discharged, it will get the power from the grid, and when there is a no any power sources available, it will automatically switch over to the DG. And by this way we can guarantee the reliable 24 hours of power supply to this particular house. Yeah, so the next case is a kind of a shopkeeper. This is a shop when the shopkeeper is working, and you can see it's a kind of a new way of power supply and new consumption experience. So this can be the this product can be the wall mounted, having the installed outside outdoors, still having a 1.5x surge current tolerance, so that is also there is a no issue. This gives the completely uninterrupted power supply in case of the case of evening when there is many customers are available and there is no availability of the grid. The can battery power supply from the iSitePower-M can give the effective switchover from the solar to battery, and continuously the person and the shopkeeper or the offices can work easily. Okay, so now this is the application, but it's also important to understand as this product is installed in the area of a villa or in the residential zone. In case of any offices, there has to be some stylish architecture. It should not be the clumsy the wirings all around, and because this product is installed at the vicinity of the many people around it, and or many kids are playing around it, so there should be the proper design. So I would like to play one more video where you can see how effectively we have taken care of all these aspects and the connectivity of the all these sources together at one place. Yeah, I'm playing this video. Okay, this is one of the case where it is blended with the environment of like the office where this product is installed, having a stylish high-tech design, smooth tactility, and streamlined design. So having a feature of obsidian, a curved screen. You can observe these lights will be a green, red, yellow based on the availability of the battery. It's a glazed white shell, enclosed wiring. This because of all the wiring is goes inside, and you can there is no any external connectivity or contact point, live contact point we can you can see from the outside. And yes, most important part, as I explained in a battery basic, that is a heat dissipation. So matrix heat dissipation structure we have observed by using this concept. We are effectively cooling down each and every battery cell and to maintain its temperature which within its required limit. Okay, this is the in this nice picture you can see the intelligent power mat giving you the greatest care invisibly, because it's a very safe product. The people can the kids can play around it. There is no issue. There is a very compact in design because we are using the very high energy density of the lithium ion battery cells, which is very compact. So you can observe that the overall dimension is around less than 1 meter by only 158 is the width of this particular product. And with this dimension, you are getting the 5 kilowatt of power supply with the 15 kWh of the battery capacity as a backup power. Okay, so moving to the reliable 24-hour power supply. Now, here is the most important case where I wanted to explain. There are two case scenarios where first is poor mains, that is one, and second is there is no main supplies available. So there is a grid available, but that grid is not good, not stable. It's very poor. In this type of situation, the intelligent priority management of multiple
Dear attendees, please bear with us. We are facing a small network issue at Mr. Kronal's end. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, Minakshi. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, you're audible.
For the interruption. I think I was trying to explain the 24/7 unlimited So there are two case scenarios where one case is a poor mains and another is no mains there. So in case of there is a grid availability which is a very weak grid or and the battery. So in this type of scenario, that there is a requirement of intelligent priority management of multiple sources. So power supplies the switchover between one source to the another source, which is required to be seamless, as well as designed by the that minimize what is the optimized way of a usage of particular power supply. In for example, if the grid is available then I should use the battery charging from the grid. In case of the solar is available in the morning time and there is a no usage of the the solar power from the to charge the battery. Would be designed in iSitePower-M, and the algorithm will work very seamlessly to change over between all these power supply sources and give the continuous power supply to the our required load. In the second case scenario, when there is a no grid is available, it's a completely off grid situation where there is a only two power supply source, is the solar and the storage. So it's kind of a self power generation and self consumption. So this is also the very important scenario where the automatic transfer from the sources without feeling of interruption is a must. So we are catering with the iSitePower-M all these two scenario, and that can be application that can be used in various applications for the shop and restaurant, households, apartment, government and enterprise outlets, and kind of for the office buildings. Moving to the next slide, in the daytime power supply from the solar and nighttime from the battery, which is minimizing the use of grid power. So in this type of case where the grid power charges is very high, in this type of situation, we can use the we can utilize the maximum power generation from the solar, and at the when there is a peak hours of a solar generation, that electricity generated from the solar power can be transferred to charge the battery. So with respect to the solar plus intelligent power mat, there is a reduction in the grid and the DG power supply mode can be possible. Next is, in case of the solar, grid, DG and battery, all these four power sources are available. In this situation, there is an intelligent power management system available inside the iSitePower-M power module. So there is a source priority, the requirement, we can adjust the source priority through the mobile app, and with this device, the first from the priority is solar. So in case of the availability of the solar power, the load will supply or electricity through the solar power. Then in case of the night time or evening time, the power is transferred from the battery. You can see there is a one complete load cycle per day. The graph where the in the morning time greens main supply is available, then after battery is discharging in early morning time. When there is a non-availability of a main supply, at the time same time there is a peak solar power generation, so which is not utilized fully with by our load. At that time the battery is also parallelly charging, and at the same time at the evening, during evening, we can discharge the battery. So by there are specially designed algorithms and the sensors available inside this product can sense the source availability, and based on that take the decisions and give the continuous supply to power supply to the required load. And this is this is the picture where there is a iSitePower-M installed inside the building or office area. This is the situation in the office or kind of a government enterprise outlet. There is a requirement of quick charging of the system, battery charging. There is a need of the UPS functionality, and there is a need of emergency backup power to run overall system very effectively in case of any meetings are going on, in case of any people are working in the computers. There has to there should not be the disruption in the power supply. So with the help of iSitePower-M, all this kind of a scenario, application scenario, is taken care. Now the next is most important, extraordinary power supply experience. How we can say that Now, in case of any power generation device, that has to be stable, consistent, and quality power. How we can say it's stable? Because it has to be, the power supply should give the proper sine wave output. It has to be continuously, consistently running, that there should not be any overloading on it. And the third one is most important, the quality power supply. Because if the person, you can see in the picture, the person is at house, is working on a computer, that requires quality power supply. If they are watching TV, that is also, all the electronic device require the quality power supply. Else, because of the interruption of the power, sorry, switching over between one source to another sources, this all the device can get damaged, and that cost a lot to our customers. So, in the iSitePower-M, we designed less than 10 milliseconds seamless power switching experience. So, in case of the power is switching over from solar to grid to DG, or DG to battery, the power switching will be happening on less than 10 milliseconds. So, which is one of the best advantage, or we can say one of the very important feature with respect to the iSitePower-M. Now, Huawei is okay. So now Huawei's most important concept towards watt stream and bit stream. Now I wanted to explain you with respect to the watt stream, that is, we are taking care with respect to the installation of the good quality of the battery LFP. And the another is B stream, that is, we call it as that has to be the effectively communication between your power supply sources and the user. So to communicate this device, we have a mobile app. From there, the person can continuously see the solar power, how much solar power is generated, the DG power generated. In case of any alerts, in case of any failure inside this product, they can easily can connect through the Wi-Fi and can get the continuous alerts with respect to the device ability. So with respect to the power as well as with respect to digitally, the both way, this product is connected well with the consumer. I will go fast with respect to the slides, because of the time limitation. Okay, so this is here. We want to explain you the less than 29 dB of operating sound, which is very less. It's a kind of a less than the sound of any indoor AC is working. Yeah, this is a modular architecture. So this product is available with the multiple architecture, like 5 kilowatt by 5 kWh. The one power module, you can see this is a one power module, and another is a battery module. So each battery module is a 5 kWh. So we can configure 3 battery module to the one, as well as the all the 3 modules with the power modules can be connected together and make it as a 15 kilowatt of 45 kWh of power source. Yes, and most important, old and new batteries can be used together, and that is also very important feature. The this product can be identify how much the old batteries solution needs to be defined to give the charging and discharging voltage and current, and for the new. So based on that, this product is designed, and algorithms are working such a way that there should not be any issue if we replace one of the module with the new one. Old one we can replace, or faulty one we can replace with the new one. Okay, secure and reliable. Now the most important part is this product has a LFP cell, which is most stable, that cannot be generated any smoke, or that can generate only smoke but not any explosion in case of any failure. Although we have provided all the safety feature, but in any exceptional case, this failures happen in this type of situation. This is a very stable chemistry we have designed. Second is full dimensional, very high precision sensors we have installed, which can give the continuous monitoring of the internal condition of this product, and all the type of system level security and authentication. Okay, so there are furthermore with respect to the active safety, I want to explain 3 layer of safety protection. First level is LFP cell, second is the cell level monitoring, And third, there is a most important feature, which is the extinguishing bag is available in every battery module. So in case of any failure of any single battery module, there is a backside extinguishing bag which can blown up and give the from the output of the it releases some gas material which can immediately extinguish that particular module, any smoke related to that, and that give the already information to the mobile app also. And this we have validated with the Intertech, and as per the IC 62109, this safety protection is certified. Okay, so with respect to the charging and discharging optimizer and the overall old pack and new pack can be installed, I have explained. And this is the pack level fault auto isolation. So in case of any battery module is fault, or in the default condition, the all other two battery modules will also work. There is no any chance that in case of any failure of any single module, all the system will get stuck. Whereas in other products in the market, you can see in case of any one failure of the battery, complete system will goes off. Okay, this is AI powered internal cell short circuit diagnosis is available. So in case of any mechanical, electrical, or thermal abuse, the continuous monitoring of AI powered internal short circuit detection algorithm will identify there is a chances of the thermal runaway in the battery, and before that it is shutting down overall system, so that there is no any chance of explosion, because we have taken care all the layers of the protections towards that. And this is the most advanced where artificial intelligence algorithm we have incorporated in it to give further more protection to the this particular product. Okay, and this is the one of the scenario where how we are saying that is IP65 outdoor protection environment. You can observe this. This is the power module is having a harsh environment condition where it is the flow of stream of the water, and and by this way we have already qualified the IP65. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so I think this all let me go to directly to the this system configuration, and this is a multiple system configuration. In case you have any doubt, I will explain in further with how we can make it multiple configuration with respect to the customer requirement from 3 kVA to up to the 16.2 kVA 45 kWh. And yes, this is the last slide where I wanted to explain you about the various experience of a new ways of power supply without any interruption, like kind of a hospital emergency backup, then in the villa power supply, then uninterrupted online university exam power supply, where this product will give without any interruption, the exam will get completed. The shopping center at the evening time, in case of any failure, there should not be a loss of owners, and the battery, the iSitePower-M will give the continuous power at the evening time also. 24 by 7 power supply to the villa, and especially the reduction from the DG power usage. So by this way there are multiple experience application scenario of this product. And thank you so much. This is from my side about iSitePower-M. And yeah.
Thank you for the insightful presentation, Mr. Kranal. And now, without any delay, I would like to introduce our panelists for this webinar. Mr. Faris Abuyagi, Sales Director, Middle East, Huawei, who is also the moderator for this session. Mr. Anas Albuchi, Commercial Director, Abunayan Trading. Mr. Kranal Patel, Product Solutions Manager, Huawei. Mr. Rashid Al-Bitar, Technical Manager, Solis Depot. Mr. Zohaib Ul Haq, National Technical Manager, Renergy. Mr. Unam Ur Rahman Khan, Business Development Manager, Innova Consultancy. Before handing over the session to Faris sir, I would like to take this moment to remind all our attendees to post their questions on the Q&A chat box, and our panelists will take it up at the end of the session. Now requesting Faris sir to lead the discussion.
Okay, thank you. So my first question goes to Mr. Zuhaib from Pakistan. So we all know Pakistan is a very big off-grid market, hybrid market. I would like to know how the iSight Power M will fit into your market, and how it will compare to the commercially available products within your market.
Thank you, Faris. First of all, I would like to say that Pakistan is a country with 225 million population, and the current demand during the peak hours is more than 35,000 megawatt, and it is expected to go around 40,000 megawatt by 2025. And the customers are related to residential and industries and agriculture and banks. And if you talk about the installed capacity of solar system, it would be more than 1.7 gigawatt. And most of the clients in residential part prefer to go with hybrid system because due to two factors: number one, unstable grid, and number two, due to the outages, the planned outages. So there's a lack of tier one hybrid product in the market, and I think this product is very good to fulfill the need of the market.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zohaib. Um, my second question goes to Mr. Anas. Anas, we all know Saudi has a strong grid, big kingdom. Where do you see the eyesight power fit into your market, and what is the importance of being IP65 and reliable in your market?
Assalamu alaikum. Hi, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me and being part of this event and launching of this important product. First of all, Saudi Arabia, as you know, is a big country. Size of Saudi is more than 20 million square kilometers. We talk about 45, approximately around 69 cities and around Saudi, four mega cities, 20, 100,000 to 1 million population, and around 45 cities of 10 to 100,000 population. So overall, we have around 69 cities in Saudi Arabia. It's a big country, it's 20 million. And when we talk about the applications, of course, it's great applications. In general, when we talk about a product such as the iSitePower-M or a storage or a hybrid product, we use it usually for more than one scenario. So one could be to have a maximum self-consumption. Number two, for peak shaving. Number three, as a backup. And number four, for remote areas and off-grid market. In Saudi, generally, when you talk about maximum self-consumption, these cases are there as we speak, where people are generating power from solar, but they are not using the entire power, and they are unable to import the grid as we speak. So such a power can be saved and used at a later time during evening time, as an example. Uh, Not necessarily with this product, but there are other products that could be used for such an application. Again, peak shaving, not currently available in Saudi, but we expect that there will be peak shaving. So there will be different rates, tariff in the grid in the future. This is what we've heard. So if there will be a peak tariff, we can also use such a product to shave the peak. The most important is the backup and remote sites. So when you talk about the remote sites in Saudi, basically we have, as we speak, the number of projects in Saudi is more than 2,000 active projects. We talk about $1.3 trillion of projects, and these are all over Saudi Arabia, the area I talked about, and they need mobilization. So when we talk about a project and you need to mobilize, you need to have a porta cabin, you need to have a place for the engineers and laborers to sit for the entire project life cycle. So that could be an application, a very important application. Also, the other one is when you talk about, for example, national guards. So today, as we speak, there are 2 million square meters of Saudi, as I told earlier, around 457 kilometers with UAE borders, 811 with Iraq borders. So it's a huge 811 kilometers with Iraq borders. And these are the two major borders of Saudi with the neighboring countries. So these borders have to be covered by the National Guards. And we talk about many remote sites that needs to have power. The grid doesn't reach up to there. So this is another application that we can use as well. And finally, we talk about remote areas. Now, when we speak about remote areas, we talk about Camping, as you know, population in Saudis, you find a lot of people interested in going for campings in the desert. You find a lot of, for example, campings that are there all over the year. Farms, there are many farms, for example, in Qasim, Ahsa, Jof, north of Saudi, Jizan, and many areas. And a lot of them are using diesel power as we speak. But as Saudi is heading for a zero carbon by 2060, so it's very important to reduce the reliance of diesel power and to be replaced with renewable energy. So that could be a very important source that could be used along with diesel, of course, in the beginning, so to reduce the consumption of diesel. So that also is another important application. We talked about coastal area. When you talk about also coastal near the sea, border area, sorry, coastal area as well. So we talk about 2,320 kilometers of coastal area with the Red Sea and the Gulf. So there's a lot of shipbuilding as we speak there. There's a lot of coastal that doesn't have a grid power that they can use in the sea, offshore, especially with the reliability of the product of Huawei iSitePower-M. This could be a great product to be used in such areas, oil and gas as well. One of the remote areas that we talked about previously, petrochemical, mining, oil and gas. There are thousands and thousands of sites for construction, for maintenance, for operation that are far away from a grid that needs power. So this is in general. These are just a few examples. Why Huawei iSight Power? It's a reliable product. Safety is very important. When you talk about, for example, oil and gas, when you talk about petrochemical, when you talk about National Guard, this is a very critical areas, very critical applications. You need the connection to the grid, the connection, sorry, to the network, to make sure that you are having the data, you are having the files. You cannot be offline. The power cannot interrupt. So the safety, the reliability. We talked about LFP cell having for example, 3 level of safety. This is very important of Saudi applications because we have a very harsh environment. As you know, there's a lot of dust. The heat is high, so we need a very reliable product such as the iSight-M to actually provide this application. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anas. Thank you very much, Anas. Talking about the safety, Rashid, we all know Lebanon and Iraq are very unreliable grids, and people are suffering from the lack of power, daily people. How do you see the eyesight power safety in the households of these countries?
Hi, Faris, and thank you for inviting me for this panelist discussion. So basically, we are talking about Lebanon and Iraqi markets. These markets are facing a severe, unreliable power delivery from the utility direct to your loads. So basically, here comes the solution of iSitePower-M. Like if you compare it nowadays as we speak, people are tending to get their electricity either from the utility or the expensive diesel generators that are operating in Lebanon and in Iraqi market. So basically, we can use the iSitePower-M as a product in order to supply our loads with a 24/7 power supply. And as we speak, because like this is a residential product, at the end of the day, this product would be installed in our homes, around our families, around the people that are interacting around it. It's very important thing to have a safety measure in terms of the battery chemistry, in terms of the operation itself. So basically, Huawei has developed its product to have 5 layers, actually, if I might speak, of protection. The first layer is basically the battery chemistry itself. So the battery chemistry of lithium iron phosphate in regards to handling the mechanical abuse, which can cause a separator tearing, or the electrical abuse, which can cause a separator piercing, or the thermal abuse, which can cause a separator collapsing. all of these abuses can make the battery go to a thermal runaway, which can cause an explosion or fire. In terms of in like explosion and fires, if you are comparing to cheap lead acid batteries and NMC batteries. On the other hand, if we are talking about lithium iron phosphate, the thermal runaway would cause only a smoke. As a second layer of protection, we can talk about internal short circuit analysis. So basically, we are controlling and monitoring the voltages, the currents, and as well as the temperature inside the battery cabinet itself. So whenever there is a sudden voltage drop in the battery cell, we can see that there's an internal short circuit, and we can react to it in a very fast manner. And if there was a probable cause, like if there was an indication that you will have a future internal short circuit, the battery itself could give you a potential warning alarm as well. The third layer of protection, as Cornell has said, basically there's a fire extinguisher bag inside each battery module. So whenever the temperature sensor reach around 170 degrees Celsius, this fire extinguisher bag is activated. It will blow up and turn any fire that might happen on our site. This is as a battery chemistry in three layers. On the other hand, if we are talking about the people that are interacting around the battery itself, how we can basically make sure that this product is safe and reliable for their approach. The first of all is the zero voltage level shutdown. So basically, if the battery is not connected to the inverter, the output voltage of the terminals of the battery itself, it will be measured as 0 volts. So there is because of there is an energy optimizer inside the battery itself, which act as a DC to DC converter. This optimizer will block the output voltage of the battery unless it is connected directly to the inverter and it's unlocked. So basically, this also add a feature to the iSitePower-M in terms of safety precautions in comparison to other batteries that does not have that as well. The last thing that I want to say, it's the battery enclosure. It's an IP65, so there is no wiring running around the battery itself, where can children reach out and get electrocuted from the battery itself. So in a nutshell, this is a safe, reliable product that can be easily implemented in our homes. As Cornell said, it's a library noise battery. It's under 29 decibels, and so it's suitable to live around this battery.
Thank you, Rashid. Thank you for the explanation. My last question is for Iman from Bahrain. So Bahrain is a small island, and I would like to know how the iSight Power M fits in your market, and what do you see the return of investment for such a product like an LCOE in Bahrain market?
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you, Forrest, for the invite. So, as you already mentioned, that Bahrain is a very small island, but despite being small, if you look at the map, it's a very huge part of this island is still empty. So that implies that there is very huge potential for development, and still a lot of developments are going on. So development comes construction and constraints for power and constraints for grid and the requirement for power and everything. So the first application I believe should be the site offices where the staff and the engineers they are deployed on the sites, and these are mostly temporary sites. So getting a grid connection for the site or running the generator for 24/7, it could be pretty heavy on the pockets for the companies. So I believe that if this iSight Power M is used, it can basically eradicate the need of the generator for the sites for low voltages. And secondly, as I said, that there is a huge potential for developments. A lot of residential projects are going on that comprises of residential villas. And if iSight Power M is integrated in the design and the construction of the villas or other residential places, the client can enjoy a very cheap already. You see, the price in Bahrain for electricity is very cheap already. But if iSight Power M is integrated, the client can enjoy a much lower price, and with the feature of being silent, it people can live around it, and as Mr. Rashid said, that it's about the safety features. So it's pretty safe to install the iSight Power M inside the residential places. And given the given a lot of 6,000 cycles, it it shows that the battery will run for a very longer time, and I believe the it will cover its cost in hardly 3 years. It's going to cover its cost. And secondly, the most important application I believe should be about the mobile telecom side. You see, Bahrain is really small, so the grid network is almost everywhere. There's hardly any place that there are no grid network. But for telecom carriers like Betelco and Zen, they have a lot of mobile sites that they have to move now and then from here and there, and mostly their source of power are diesel generators. The OPEX is pretty high. So if they opt for iSitePower-M, the OPEX can be reduced to around 30% of it, as in 70% can be taken care of by iSitePower-M. Plus, the other challenge that they face is the monitoring of their power. They have their monitoring for their telecom devices, but there is no monitoring for power, as in how much load is running, how much. I mean, what, what is about to come? What challenge are they going to face in near future about the power? So, as this iSight Power M gives the feature for visibility, so they can plan their activities accordingly. Uh, so, in the conclusion, the iSight Power M complies with all the safety standards with EVA, and there's a lot of potential for development in Bahrain. So I believe that this can be a very successful device in this region.
Okay, thank you. Sakashi, I give it back to you if you have any additional questions or you want to ask the questions from the group.
So we have a couple of questions from our attendees. I will take them up on the screen and our panelists can answer those.
Okay, uh, I would like to answer this question. Am I audible?
Sure, sir. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
sir. Please proceed.
Okay. So the maximum capacity is the 15 kilowatt, 45 kWh. So and by combining the three eyesight power amp connected in parallel, we can utilize the maximum its maximum capacity, and can be clubbed with a grid connected solar plant. So we need to understand more about the grid connected solar plant, because this product is specially designed for off grid, most beneficial for the off grid scenarios, and with the rooftop solar power. But in case of the any solar plant, what would be the capacity, we need to understand. And this product doesn't have a net metering feature. So this is specifically for the consumer or customers like residential villas, the shops and offices buildings. This type of scenarios, it is the most effective and most beneficial. Yeah.
Thank you, Krunal sir. I will take up the next question and show it on screen.
Okay, so it's a 6,000 number of cycles. We have done the testing and we have results for that. It's perfectly working fine with respect to the 6,000 number of cycles, battery cycles. Yeah. Next.
And we have a last question, sir. Would anyone
Uh,
like to answer that?
This is a tricky question.
All right.
Nobody will answer. Unless Faris would like to answer.
Well, thank you, our esteemed panel, for this
If
wonderful
you
session.
allow me, Minky, I saw a question in the discussion. I would like to answer. Someone is asking about the effectiveness of diesel in Saudi. Is it cheaper or not if we apply the eyesight power? I just like to answer this question. Of course, today as we speak, it's not going to be cheaper to install eyesight power versus diesel, but this is part of the strategy of this Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as I mentioned. You know, we need to be a net zero emission by 2060, so definitely the diesel price will go up. There will be a lot of things that will change soon to allow more renewable energy. Plus, sometimes in some sites there are remote areas, so you need to move the diesel to those remote areas, such as mountains or islands, etc. So the cost and operation of moving the diesel can be very difficult. So having less reliance on the diesel and more reliance on renewable or a product such as iSitePower-M is very important in that case. So just to, in order not to leave the question unanswered. Thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt you.
Thank you so much, Anna sir, for answering that question. With that, we have come to an end of this webinar. A big thanks to all our panelists. It was a pleasure having you in such a well planned and high energy panel discussion. Thank you, everyone, for extending your time and support for this event. We promise to come back with more exciting topics very soon. A special thanks to our partner for this webinar, Huawei. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
all.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Thank
day.
you. Have a
Bye
nice
bye.
day.